Welcome to Life with Gaz. If you're new to the channel, then make sure you hit the subscribe button and ring that bell, because I have a new sea fishing video every Wednesday, and then the second Saturday of every month I'll put a freshwater video on as well.
Hey guys, welcome to Life with Gaz. Now today me and Stuart have made a trip out to Whitehaven. We're going to fish the breakwater and we're going to have a go, see what's out there. It's a new venue for me, not quite sure what to expect, but I've just had a look down there and the water's nice and clear and looks fantastic. So fingers crossed we are going to see some fish today. So guys, dangling out here today I've got the 2-hook flapper rig, just with a little 3-ounce bomb just there. One on the top's a bit longer, the one on the bottom a very, very small hook, and that's just going to drop straight down the wall. And then on the other side I've got an up and over, and I'm going to fire that one out with some nice fish baits on and see what picks it up.
I was still setting up and not even really got all my lights on, so that's why it's a little bit dark, but I managed to pick up my first strikeable bite and feel the weight of my first fish. Only small, and this little whiting kick-started the night. Now throughout the night I got lots and lots of tiny little bites, which I've cut out of the video. But you'll see later on in the video I got a bit obsessed with trying to work out what it was, and that didn't work for me. But no worries, we'll actually crack on and catch some more fish.
There you go guys, first little ray of the night. Hopefully we'll see a few more of them, maybe a couple which are a bit bigger as well.
After watching that ray glide off through the crystal clear water, I decided to focus my energies on trying to see what little fish were down there and what kept trying to sort of steal my bait, because every time you cast out close to that wall you got a bite almost instantly. But if you let that bite try and develop, then they would leave it there and the bait would end up untouched. So I was holding the rod in my hand, trying to strike into it at the first available opportunity, and this unfortunately didn't work for me. And really, I obsessed over this too long. I should have concentrated on putting bigger baits out for rays, and I would have probably done alright on them. Stuart had a ray as well, and it was starting off to make out for quite a good session. So in the few hours we fished coming up to daybreak, we'd actually managed to land a few fish. I'd had a ray and 2 whitings. Stuart had had some dogfish and a ray as well. But now the daylight has started to show, what we did, we changed our tactics and switched over to mackerel fishing in the hope of maybe putting a few of those up over the breakwater. It didn't take long for me to get into my first mackerel. Now, I'm going to show you guys how I killed this fish, and euthanizing these fish is something which I don't usually show in my videos, and the reason for that is because not everyone's comfortable with seeing it. But something I'm not really too comfortable with is seeing these fish just dropped on the side and just left to essentially suffocate and die without the water over their gills, or just left in a bucket to die. Now, killing these fish is very simple, and if you're going to take any of them home for food or for bait, all you do is you put your thumb in their mouth and then you hold on to the top of their head, bend it back, and their spine is really fragile. That breaks and it kills the fish instantly. And the reason why I've left it in this is so anyone who are out there mackerel fishing, maybe this is a better way of doing it than leaving them just in a bucket. After those couple of mackerel, it went quiet for quite a while. So essentially what I did was I just put my gear down for a bit and had a quick look around the breakwater. Now, fortunately, this is probably one of the most litter-filled marks I've ever fished. There's fishing line and hooks and all sorts lying around everywhere. But every cloud has a silver lining, and I like to make my own rigs, and that includes my own mackerel feathers as well. When I was walking around, I picked up somewhere in the region of around about 20 Hawkeye heads, which meant that I can add obviously a new dynamic and a different dynamic to the rigs that I'm making. And at some point one day, what I'll do is I'll do a video showing you guys how I make my various mackerel feathers. On this retrieve I was into another mackerel. Now, I only caught 4 mackerel in this whole trip, so the total number of fish that I ended up with were 4 mackerel, 2 whiting and a ray. But what was interesting about catching the mackerel, obviously being shoaling fish, was I caught 2 mackerel in 2 casts, and then I didn't catch anything for maybe about an hour, and then I caught another 2 mackerel in 2 casts again. And this last mackerel that come up was also full of sand eels. Now, I didn't count these as a catch, for obvious reasons. I didn't actually catch them. The mackerel caught them and I caught the mackerel. But it would have been great to use these guys as bait, but unfortunately the stomach acid of the mackerel just started to dissolve these sand eels too much, so unfortunately they had to go back over the wall.
Well, unfortunately guys, that's the end of this fishing trip. Now I hope you guys have enjoyed this episode from Whitehaven. If you have, make sure you hit the subscribe button down here, check out my latest fishing video over there and my sea fishing playlist up top.